play. 2nd and 3.
Let's go.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Gun, gun, gun.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And this is caught at the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Play action. Ryan fighting to stay upright. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Tuesday. On.
Operating from the gun. Ryan looking downfield for Jones. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. he's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. The Falcons on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be third and forever.
21. 21.
From the gun, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see them.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Terrell McClain in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Wentz to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. He's going to air. And got his man complete. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. And even 50 yards. They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game.
And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone setter for his team on offense that they try and get him the ball early. And, of course, what comes after that is often. And for them to limit him and him not catch a ball until the second half, it's a big reason why his team is behind on the scoreboard.
Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Black, come on. 81. What's on?
To throw, it's Wentz. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Looking like the Vic Beasley of 2016 on that play, Charles.
That's the one that they want, too, because remember, that Vic Beasley, 15.5 sacks, led the NFL in that category that season. Dropped to just 5 in 2017. He also dropped into coverage more, trying to help out his team.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Gun! 20! Gun! Go!
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. The numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they'll walk him back half the distance. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working and call more of that.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. 82, 82. Hey. Lion.
On second down, here's Wentz. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now a play fake. Wentz. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And take it right on the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they watch this lead shrink a little. Flush to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
21.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's going to go down again. Haloti Ngata in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Wentz, and down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Wentz, and he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Vic Beasley in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Black, come on.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Ram.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken at his 4th. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal.
Hey, express!
They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talking about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Try to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards, 1st down. Perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Working from the gun. Wentz drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Wentz going to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Wentz now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. picked up by Keanu Neal. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on second and goal? Ryan. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Now it's Ryan. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On third and goal, Ryan. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's tough. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw is Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Eagles on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now it's Ajayi. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Needed 13. They got 14 on third down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Ajayi, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. So out come the Falcons now. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Falcons, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Panthers next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.